Hello there, and welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews with me, George. And today's episode of underrated albums that I feel don't get nearly enough love and appreciation, not nearly as much as they deserve, anyhow. Of course, this is entirely my opinion, I might add. But today's episode of underrated albums has to go for a band that is without a doubt one of, if not my favourite band of all time, and an album that is totally overshadowed by the subsequent 22 albums that follow it. Certainly the two releases that don't even need to be named, don't even need to be mentioned, from 1980. I am, of course, talking about the 1979 debut self-titled album from the mighty NWOBHM new wave of British heavy metal kings, Saxon. So this album is, as I say, it's all too easily overlooked. It's all too easily forgotten about. Why? Well, because the albums that followed it, as I mentioned, those two certainly in 1980 were and are pillars of NWOBHM. They are absolutely the biggest, well, some of the biggest and best new wave of British heavy metal albums to come out of that movement, and certainly a couple of the biggest albums from Saxon. But this album, although it's Saxon finding their feet, there are some really good moments there. Tracks that actually did stay with the band throughout their career as live favourites. The opening track there, you have the two-parter of Rainbow Theme and Frozen Rainbow. Good instrumentals. They are, I guess they're slower paces. They're sort of mellow rock tracks. Okay, not the strongest way to start an album, but they're not bad. Biff's vocals are good. Instrumentals are good. It's quite uplifting stuff. It's quite atmospheric. It sort of builds and sets a soundscape. It's good. I feel that it's good stuff. I don't need to hear Big Teaser. I think I previously mentioned when I did my vinyl unveiling. I don't need to hear Big Teaser, and I also don't need to hear Still Fit to Boogie. I just don't need that sort of a little bit kind of cheesy status quo rock and roller stuff. I don't need that. But Judgment Day, the closing track on the first side there, is a really great track. You've got that sort of blues rock line there, that bar in the middle, which is, it's catchy stuff. It's very much of that time, 1979. We're on the cusp of the new wave of British heavy metal about to really take flight. It's about to kick off and go stratospheric. We've got that transition between hard rock, the blueprint that was laid down by the likes of Deep Purple, of UFO and Black Sabbath, and then we're moving into faster, heavier territory. But that's embryonic NWOBHM track there. By the time we get to the second half of the album, the Mighty Stallions of the Highway, that is a fast-paced heavy metal kicker. That is a superb track and a absolutely solid NWOBHM number. Backs to the Wall. Now, I know that has featured throughout their career as a live favourite, and rightfully so, because it is a brilliant track. Heavy, it's rocking, it really grips you. It's got attitude, it's got aggression, it's got power. It's a brilliant, brilliant track. Probably my favourite off this first self-titled album. Militia Guard, at the end there, the closing track, another really good number, strong track. Not an album to overlook. I feel that this is all too easily missed, definitely underrated, but I can understand why, definitely. But if you want to understand the origins of Saxon, this album is where you really want to start. We all know Wheels of Steel, Strong Arm, Denim and Leather. We all know Sacrifice, Thunderbolt, Battering Ram. We know those albums. Start here. Well, maybe not start here, but go back here and revisit, and you get a sense of where they were coming from. They were a fledgling band. They were just trying to find their feet, and this was an okay start. This was an alright start, a solid start, but it was just Wheels of Steel that took them to that rock royalty, that heavy metal NWOBHM king status. Absolutely. So there you have it. Saxon, self-titled 1979 album, an album which I feel is unjustly underrated. What do you think? Let me know. What are your opinions of these tracks here and of that album? I'm intrigued to know. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe, of course. That's very much appreciated. Take care. Check back soon for more reviews and more words of all things heavy. Take care, my friends. As always, stay heavy.